What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. Okay, Brock Lesnar, the Beast. Here comes the pain, all of that. He's definitely the most dominant star in the entire WWE. He has this aura to him when he comes out. Everyone has their eyes on him. Before Suplex City and after his UFC run, Brock Lesnar found himself in the WWE for the first time in 8 years. In this video, I'll cover Brock Lesnar's first couple of years in WWE and how they almost destroyed him in a way. Keyword in a way. So for me to cover this one, let me give you a refresher as to how Lesnar signed with WWE. But before I do, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I upload every 2 days. You guys know that stuff. Anyways, let's get into it. As you all may or may not know, Brock Lesnar didn't return in 2012. He returned in 2011 to be a part of the WWE 12 video game. In an interview with THQ, Lesnar, responding to the rumors that his return to WWE, stated that if there's money to be made in the company, then he'll definitely think about it. And the only way he could return is under the right circumstances. Fast forward to March of 2012, it seemed like Lesnar was a done deal, and rumors circulated that he was going to return at WrestleMania 28. He didn't appear at the event, but some claim that they spotted him in Miami. And those rumors would end up being true, Lesnar signing with WWE, as on the April 2nd, 2012 episode of Raw, Brock Lesnar finally returned. He came onto the ring during John Cena's promo, and man, was the pop deafening. Finally, after 8 years, he's back. Personally, I didn't think he'd return, to be honest. I don't know why, but I wasn't expecting him back. Lesnar posed before Cena put his hand out, only for Brock to catch him off guard and hit a sudden F5. Definitely one of the best returns in the past decade. Now, why was Lesnar back? Well, first of all, it's because of the money. Second of all, it's because of the money. Third of all, it's because of the money. But fourth of all, it's because John Laurinaitis, the GM of both Raw and SmackDown at the time, wanted to legitimize the WWE again. I don't know what that means, but at least he's back. John Cena, though, had other plans. He slapped the hell out of Lesnar the next week, and this led to a brawl between the two. The entire locker room emptied, and even the world champion Sheamus came out to separate them. By the end of the brawl, Cena was bleeding from his mouth, and eventually the match was made for Extreme Rules. Brock Lesnar versus John Cena in an Extreme Rules match. But heading into the bout, John Cena suddenly lost his confidence. As for Brock Lesnar, he let us know who he was. An ass kicker, that's all. He didn't give a damn about the fans. It was business. He's seen as the guy who could legitimize the company, and he'll have no problem doing the job that Cena couldn't do. Now, Lesnar, he had a bunch of requests for his contract, his new contract. He demanded these changes come to effect before the Extreme Rules match. His first request was whatever Laurinaitis thought for Lesnar, he's going to have to run it by the Beast. Like, for example, if Big Johnny wants to book him on Raw, he's got to ask him about it. Second, he demanded Vince McMahon's private jet to and from the venue. Third, he'll show up on Raw whenever and how he wants. He's not a puppet on a string like everybody else on the roster. Fourth, he refused to be fined. In fact, Big Johnny is going to be paying him more money. And until these demands are made, there isn't an Extreme Rules match this Sunday. Oh, and another one. If he's really the face of WWE, the show is no longer going to be called Monday Night Raw. It's going to be called Monday Night Raw starring Brock Lesnar. And then, and only then, will he sign the contract. Johnny Ace accepted the terms, and I'm wondering, is he really worth it? Then John Cena, who got a passionate pep talk from Edge, came out. He had a chain on his neck, shades of the Doctor of Thugonomics. Lesnar told Cena that he feels this vibration coming from him because Cena fears him. He said that he's the reason why John's not in form, and once the champ heard this, he signed the contract and threw it into the Beast's face. Lesnar wanted to do something about it, but he was wise, realizing that John's got a chain in his possession. As for the Extreme Rules match, I don't think we've seen something like that in WWE in 5 years. It had an awesome vibe to it, the red ropes, Brock Lesnar in a WWE ring for the first time in 8 years, Cena bringing out that chain, Cena bled in a matter of seconds. If you just tuned in, you'd still believe WWE was TV 14. Lesnar absolutely destroyed John Cena. He never took a beating that lasted this long in a match. Never. The crowd was really into it, and rightfully so. In the end, though, Cena utilized the chain to his advantage, and this helped him gain the momentum. John managed to AA Lesnar on the steel steps to win this match. Overall, a very extraordinary match. I can't stress it enough. The fact that this was Lesnar's first match, and just like that, was a banger. Can't say anything bad about it. I will say something, though, about the booking. After the match, John Cena was going to be stretchered right out of there, as it would make it seem like, despite winning the battle, it would have looked like he lost the war. But that didn't happen. He proceeded to cut a promo about how he's leaving and taking a vacation when he wasn't supposed to, and Cena didn't even take that vacation. He returned to Raw the next night. Rumor has it Lesnar was really pissed backstage because he was told Cena was going to be stretchered out of there. Okay, so at this point, Cena beat Lesnar. Don't know why, but I believe it's Vince's way of humbling Lesnar and making sure that he's going to stay loyal to him, I guess. I heard that rumor too, and it does make sense because there's absolutely no reason why Lesnar should lose to John Cena, who was the same guy that lost to The Rock at WrestleMania. It doesn't make sense other than that reason, I believe. Okay, so the next night on Monday Night Raw starring Brock Lesnar, Triple H came out and he refused to honor Brock Lesnar's requests. He felt like Lesnar's terms the previous week were ridiculous. The game, however, will honor the original contract, and Lesnar felt wrong. Triple H even allowed Brock to leave with his loss to John Cena. That was a slight jab to him. He had no problem with Brock Lesnar leaving. Johnny, though, he was about to piss his pants due to failing to make good on his promises. As for Lesnar's response, he broke Triple H's arm, simply put. That's all I'm gonna say. At this point, Lesnar, in storyline, decided to send his legal representative in order to give everyone an update on his WWE status. When his advocate came out, it was freaking Paul Heyman. So, what's going on here? I'm telling you, this was one of the first weeks I watched WWE again after a couple of months, and it's just crazy to see Paul Heyman back. Now, since Lesnar had limited appearances in his contract, they decided to bring back Paul Heyman to represent Brock Lesnar. I believe it's also due to Brock Lesnar's poor promo skills, I guess. Not sure. He let us know that Lesnar's planning on suing the company for millions of dollars, and he also revealed that Lesnar has quit the WWE. As for Triple H, upon his return, he challenged Lesnar to a match at SummerSlam, and in turn, Lesnar drops a lawsuit. Long story short, Heyman rejected the challenge for a month, but he finally accepted on the 1000th episode of Raw after Stephanie McMahon said that Paul's kids are ashamed of him because he's a professional parasite, and this pushed him over the edge. He accepted the challenge on behalf of Brock, and the match was official. Lesnar then made his way out there, and they brawled for a bit, and in the end, Triple H sent him right out of there, and these two were heading on a collision course. This was probably the ultimate dream match of the Ruthless Aggression era. Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. We never got to see in the past, but now we finally get the chance to witness it. Heading into the event, Shawn Michaels was going to be in Triple H's corner, but that wouldn't come to fruition as Lesnar broke his arm by applying the Kimura lock. They set up HBK in the parking lot, and Triple H couldn't get anywhere near him because Lesnar was threatening to break the arm. In the end, he did that, and heading into the event, Lesnar had the upper hand. As for their match, it was aptly entitled The Perfect Storm. The match itself, it was decent. I don't think about it that often, but Lesnar technically cheated to win. The game was resilient though, and Lesnar had to resort to the Kimura lock in order to win this match. Scratch that, Lesnar didn't really cheat, but he showed a lot of vulnerability compared to his future self. But hey, on the bright side, he made Triple H tap out. Oh no, it's not a bad match, but due to the way things went later on, it's forgotten in a way. After the match, Triple H teased retirement, but some of the fans were booing. As for Brock Lesnar, Paul Heyman appointed him the new King of Kings, and Lesnar dipped right out of there, not to be seen throughout the rest of the summer and even the rest of fall. Paul Heyman continued to appear on TV as he was the manager of CM Punk. On the January 28, 2013 episode of Raw, Brock Lesnar finally returned to WWE, and he F5'd Mr. McMahon right before the boss was going to fire Paul Heyman. Now, a little context. Lesnar at this point, he claimed that he quit WWE beforehand, and I don't even know where this was. I believe it was on Tout or something like that. So this was a shocker to Vince and the commentary team. Heyman knew what was going to transpire, and he was pissing himself when Lesnar came out. Despite Lesnar destroying Vince's hip, I believe, he came out on the February 25th, 2013 episode of Raw looking for a fight. He wanted to face Heyman one-on-one in a street fight, and Paul Lee tried talking his way out of this by threatening Vince. He was stating stuff like, you really want to go through with this? I'll kick your ass, blah, 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 something like that. And before he knew it, Heyman pounced on Vince. He used a crutch as a weapon, and this would come back to bite him. Nope, it wouldn't come back to bite him. You know why? Because Brock Lesnar's here. Little side note, Vicky signed Lesnar to a new contract, hence all these appearances in storyline. Triple H then made his return, and this was the first time Triple H was seen on WWE TV with short hair. He cut it in September, I believe, after he faked the retirement thing, I guess. This brawl was right out of the Attitude Era. Brock was lacerated, and as a result of this incident, he received 12 stitches in order to close that wound. Oh, and Triple H sent Lesnar a message on that Vine Lite app, Vine's older unsuccessful brother called Tout. Anyways, Triple H wanted redemption. It's as simple as that. That's the story of this one. He just wanted to get that win back. Lesnar accepted, but when it was time for the contract signing, Heyman revealed that there was a stipulation in the contract. Heyman teased a match that would see Triple H have his hands tied behind his back, but that wasn't it. Lesnar didn't want to hear any excuses from Triple H, so he allowed Paul to choose a stipulation that would give Triple H a chance. Paul said that it will be Lesnar and Triple H, but the winner will get Stephanie. But that wasn't it though, as it would be more fitting for the loser to get Stephanie. Triple H threw out the security and he slammed Heyman repeatedly across the table. The game signed the contract over Heyman's chest before throwing him right out of there. Brock Lesnar finally came out, but he had second thoughts about entering the ring, and Heyman's look of fear turned into a look of joy as he claimed that the beating was worth it for Triple H to sign the contract. As for the stipulation, it was no holds barred. Triple H was loving this, but then Heyman revealed the other stipulation. Triple H's career is on the line. As for that match, Shawn Michaels was in Triple H's corner, and it wasn't bad, but it was a foregone conclusion. There was no way Triple H was going to retire before The Undertaker. No way. Does this mean it was bad? No. Triple H had to resort to the sledgehammer and a pedigree on top of the steel steps in order to win. But for some reason, though, they continued this feud. Paul Heyman then made the challenge for the rubber match. Brock Lesnar versus Triple H at Extreme Rules. The game did accept the challenge, but Lesnar took it another direction. On the May 6, 2013 episode of Raw, Paul Heyman showed us footage of himself. He was righteous enough to vlog for us. I mean, he was vlogging inside the WWE headquarters. This one was really hilarious. I haven't watched it in years until now. Lesnar's intimidating people. They teased a Rock match. Heyman's providing us commentary. And seriously, if you've never watched this, go check it out. Brock destroyed Triple H's office. And like I said, it was a unique segment. Sometime later or beforehand, not sure, the match stipulation was made a steel cage match. This one, it was forgettable. I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't bad by any means, but like their previous encounters, like it could have been better. In the way Lesnar won, Heyman had to interfere and low blow Triple H in order for Lesnar to capitalize on this mistake. Lesnar hit an F5 and so he won. On the bright side, despite losing clean at WrestleMania, he's won this feud. Brock once again disappeared following Extreme Rules, leaving Paul Heyman with the newly debuting Curtis Axel. That's a whole other story, but for right now, let's focus on Lesnar. On the June 17, 2013 episode of Raw, that episode was really memorable. So many things happened on that night that I still remember to this day. Brock Lesnar finally returned to WWE to confront CM Punk. Now, a little context. CM Punk at this point had just turned into a babyface, and there was some tension between Paul and Punk. Lesnar grabbed a mic, and just when he was going to say something, he F5'd the hell out of CM Punk. So it was arrive, F5 leave. It's as simple as that. As for Heyman, he made it seem like he was good buddies with CM Punk, but at Money in the Bank, before I get to it, Heyman just placating to the audience is so weird. Like, he's slapping the mat. It just looks so unnatural. All of a sudden, he slammed a ladder onto Punk several times, and he had this look of betrayal on his face, and as a result of this, he was busted open. Since Punk was betrayed, and since Lesnar attacked him once again, CM Punk wanted to slay the Beast at SummerSlam. He wanted the Beast versus the best. CM Punk had this fury and passion which hasn't been seen in several months. Heyman accepted the match on behalf of Brock Lesnar, and it was on. The storytelling in this match was top-notch. Punk had the fans behind him as Lesnar was rough and vicious. Paul Heyman played the role of a slimy heel to perfection. The match really made Punk look good. He counted the Kimura and the F5. I believe he counted the F5 twice. Lesnar was a monster, but at the same time he was vulnerable. And seriously, though, watching it again, man, what a match. CM Punk had the match won after countering the F5 into a GTS, but Heyman got involved and he ran into an F5. Nope. He countered it into a DDT, and I swear I thought Punk was getting it, but he countered. Like, I couldn't believe it. Heyman once again got involved, and Punk dealt with him for a bit before Lesnar delivered a couple of brutal chair shots before wrapping it up with an F5 on a steel chair. I think that's the best way to make Punk look good despite the loss. I mean, Lesnar had to rely on outside interference in order to win. All in all, it's one of Lesnar's best matches in his entire career, and some say it's his best match since his return. Once again, following SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar disappeared for a couple of months, up until the December 30th, 2013 episode of Raw. This time around, Triple H and Brock shook hands. Brock finally declared his intentions. He wanted the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, and I'm shocked Lesnar actually spoke. He said that he didn't give a damn if it was John Cena or Randy Orton who was champion, as no one in the company could stop him. He dared anyone from the locker room to come down to the ring and try to do something about him being in the front of the line automatically. Then out came Mark Henry. They brawled, and it was Henry who had the upper hand initially, but if there's one thing we've learned about Brock Lesnar is that he can strike at any moment. He speared Mark Henry through the barricade and he screamed, "Ah!" He then F5'd Henry, who literally bounced off the floor, and yeah, this basically made him look like a monster. I mean, he was already a monster, but this made him look like a bigger monster. Brock destroyed Henry once again the following week, but this time he locked him in the Kimura, thereby dislocating his elbow. Then the Big Show decided to come out and Lesnar retreated. Nope, he ran in there and tried to ambush the Big Show, but when he was manhandled, and for the first time in God knows when, Lesnar was flying in the air, Heyman begged for Lesnar to just leave. Eventually, these two were booked to face one another at the Royal Rumble. Now, personally, I think this is the most forgotten Lesnar match on pay-per-view. Lesnar blasted Show with a chair several times before the matchup, but right when the ref rang the bell, Big Show KO'd Lesnar. Obviously, he bounced back by bouncing Big Show off the mat with the F5, and yeah, like, I don't think anyone expected the Big Show to win this one. So now it was time to focus on someone else. At this point, Lesnar wanted that title shot, but it seemed like that wasn't going to happen in the near future. On the February 24, 2014 episode of Raw, Heyman demanded that Lesnar get his title shot. He believed Triple H and Stephanie imposed their authority on Lesnar. This open contract is nothing, as Brock just wants that title match. As they walked out of the ring, The Undertaker decided to appear. Brock Lesnar took this as a challenge and he signed the contract. He handed the pen to Taker, who decided to stab Lesnar with it before chokeslamming him through the table. So now, Brock Lesnar's facing The Undertaker. Heading into the event, I and many others believe that the streak will never end. Not for a moment did I believe the streak was going to end. Why? Well, if Triple H and HBK couldn't be the one, why would it be Lesnar? So I expected them to just go out there and have a good match. Well, about that, well, it was a huge disappointment. It felt slow and plodding, and I just couldn't get into it. Taker was spent, and he couldn't really put on a classic performance that night. Brock had to hit 3 F5s, but no one thought Taker wasn't going to kick out. There it is, the F5. 1, 2, 3? 3? Oh my god, just watching it again, goosebumps. The fact that they literally had Lesnar be the 1 in 21 in 1 is astonishing. And the crowd's reaction says it all, like, what's going on here? What the hell? The streak, it's over? I mean, this is better than winning titles. If Lesnar gets a title shot, he's winning. But the streak, like, no one's broken it. Paul Heyman's reaction, once again, it was awesome. Like, you did it. Oh my god, you did it. Now, personally, looking back, was Lesnar the best choice? Doubtful. I prefer Roman Reigns, but after 2 years of WWE almost making Lesnar another guy on the roster, this was the perfect way to put him back on track. Still, the most shocking moment, and it really made Lesnar look like a beast. So now Lesnar was far and away the most dominant star in the entire company. At this point, the WWE World Heavyweight Champion was Daniel Bryan, and rumors circulated of a Brock Bryan match for SummerSlam, and that was going to happen, but then D. Bryan was out. Since he was stripped of the gold, John Cena slotted into Bryan's spot, and so the Beast finally gets his chance for the title. I remember that poster for that match, it kind of spoiled their plans. On the July 21st, 2014 episode of Raw, Triple H revealed John Cena's next opponent for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Nope, it wasn't Randy Orton. We already had that 10 times in the last year. Instead, it was Plan C, Brock Lesnar. Heyman managed to convince Triple H to make Brock the challenger, and so he was. Heading into the SummerSlam match, Brock Lesnar let us know that he came back to the WWE to become champion again. He doesn't give a damn about anyone or anything. The only thing that makes him happy is inflicting pain, and he was really confident. I mean, he beat The Undertaker at WrestleMania. Now, my favorite moment to come from this build-up, it doesn't really have to do with the build-up, but it was just so damn hilarious. It was when Lesnar crashed Hulk Hogan's birthday party, and he told him these words: "Party's over, Grandpa." Paul Orndorff was laughing. John Cena then came out and Lesnar teased a fight, but preferred to save it for Sunday. As for the SummerSlam match, another shocker. Who the hell expected essentially a long squash match? John Cena walked into this match and just got his ass kicked. I mean, this match was also the birth of Lesnar's new match template, Suplex City. He hit 16 German suplexes and he asserted his dominance over John Cena, who at this point was a 15-time world champion. The champ did try fighting back, but Lesnar refused to allow Cena to be on the offense. He threw Cena left and right. What about the moment when Cena hit a sudden AA only for Lesnar to kick out and set up? Cena was spent, but he didn't even hurt some of Lesnar. Lesnar at this point wasn't fatigued. He wasn't hurt. He wasn't anything. It felt like he was fresh. Those Germans looked absolutely brutal. The crowd was really into it, and I highly recommend you watch this if you haven't, and especially if you dislike Cena, because this one, like, what can I say? It was a squash match. John Cena showed signs of a comeback, but nope, it didn't happen. Lesnar manhandled him once again and hit another F5 to win the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. The first time Cena looked like a jobber. Never ever seen a main event like that, and the Extreme Rules match, it doesn't even compare to this one. Cena didn't even stun Lesnar. Brock had all the momentum. No one could stop him at this point. He finally got his title shot, and he didn't disappoint. All in all, a total rebound to how Brock was booked initially. They showed he was kind of vulnerable, but then once he broke the streak, he was treated like an absolute monster, as he should be. And there it is. Finally, he won the title, and like I said, it made him seem like another face on the roster. But now they fixed it, and yeah. Will I make a Brock Lesnar title reign video? Yeah, eventually, not now. That's it for this video. Make sure you hit a German suplex on the like button, and perhaps an F5 on the subscribe button. Peace, I'm out.